my scrappy friends, welcome to my channel. I have a really fun layout for you today, and this is in a hop that I am doing with a whole bunch of other ladies from YouTube and the community, and we are all doing holiday themed layouts or projects. And this is the one that I am doing. So definitely look in the info box down below and you will be able to find links to follow along on the hop. I believe you need to leave a comment on everybody's layout, and Becky is going to be picking a winner, and I believe it's a scrapbook.com gift certificate, but each day there's going to be different prizes, so definitely watch out for the next 12 days on her channel, and you will be able to find, I don't think I'm going to be sharing stuff every single day, but I am sharing today. So I am doing some mixed media. I have that stencil that is from Click Kits that we got in one of our kits, and I used some Shimmerz, Whitey Tidy, and some graphite, and so it has this like white gray look to it. And then I'm just taking some sprays and stuff like that. I'm using a lot of their the Shimmerz gray sprays that just came out this fall. So, and then I'm going to be using some different pinks. I think I'm using the Cheeky Pink or Pink Cheeks, that one. I'll have links to the stuff that I use. And then I'm going to also later on be adding some other colors too. At first I was thinking I wanted to keep this really light, but then as I've started figuring out what photos I wanted to use, I decided to add more color to it. But what I really like is that when you do this kind of mixed media, you can make it what you want it. So yay, right? So here is the next time that I add stuff. I have some Keep Palm and then the Bamboo Leaf, and those are different sprays, and I'm going to be using those like watercolors, and I'm going to add some drips and I'm putting in some of this color in this where the stencil is so that it'll go in between the stencil and you'll be able to see that. I also am going to be adding some coral reef too, just to give it a little bit more of that pink look. I used a lighter pink earlier, and then I realized that I wanted it a little bit darker just because the green is so dark. So, but I really liked how this part turned out. It's really fun. I mean, a lot of it gets covered up when you do layouts like this, but yeah, you know. It's all good, right? I think just knowing how you prefer it is the best way. Like if you know you're going to cover it up a lot, just do little hints so that your media kind of pops out from the corners. Sorry about my head there. I was standing up while I was doing some of this. Sometimes it gives me a better vantage. My water definitely turned green, didn't it? But I really liked how this layout turned out. It was really fun. So I wanted to use multiple photos just because I know I've been hearing a lot from people in the community that they want to see more photos on a layout. So I took a 4x6 size, and then this one is like a 3x3 size, maybe a little bit less than that. And I thought about maybe backing the whole thing just because it gets a little warpy, but once I add it to the page protector and it sits around in the album, it usually flattens out enough that you're not going to notice, but you know. I'm taking that December, those are printables that came with last year's December kit that we got for Click Kits. I'm kind of using some of that kit. I'm going to reach in my stash. I'm going to use some digital stuff that I printed out as well. But I really wanted to kind of focus on some green colors because I have a lot of green. So I took that strip the branding strip, and I'm going to add it to closer to the bottom, and this is going to be like the landing place. So when you have a cluster in your layout and it's in the middle, if you don't have it resting on something, it kind of looks like it's just like floating in the air. So sometimes it's nice to have a strip of paper or something that is like a shelf, if that makes sense. So this is my shelf, but as you'll see as I get going, I kind of start seeing a vision for the design that I want to do. So a lot of times when I do layouts like these, and if you watch my channel, you know this, I just kind of wing it and I go with the flow and I see what feels right. And it works for me. It might not work for everyone. I think having a good understanding of the design principles kind of helps. So if you're newer to scrapbooking and you don't understand how certain things work, I would suggest maybe taking a class or watching someone that you know uses a lot of design elements, just so that you can get an idea and see it in your head, because I think that really helps when you want to create something yourself. I know some people have a really hard time coming up with these ideas for themselves, and that's fine. And that's where you need to look at people that you know use design elements and principles in a way that you would like to use them. So, you know, it's my advice. But so I'm trying to figure out, I added some layers to that small photo and I ripped the one, and then this one has like half a circle or something. And I decided that I wanted the two things to kind of be like wonky at the bottom. So this is where I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, how do I want to do this? Because this big photo, and then I look at this and I'm like, this kind of looks like a Christmas tree, which is kind of ironic because I'm doing a layout with Christmas ornaments, right? So I have that. Last year I took just a picture of the ornaments on the couch, and then I took some pictures of ornaments on our tree, and I didn't use that one. It's a mouse on a bicycle. And I wanted to take a different stance on this layout and just kind of talk about how our tree is filled with ornaments that are from both me and my husband's childhood, and then stuff that we've gotten throughout the years. And that's really what this layout is about. I mean, that picture has ornaments from when I was a kid, ornaments from my husband when he was a kid, ornaments that we've bought as we've been married and stuff. So I thought it kind of looks like a tree. And so I added that black piece of paper that has some, that was actually a digital paper from Paisley Press, and I printed it out at home, and it has like fronds on it or something and like berries. But I wanted it to kind of look like a trunk. So it's not perfect, and I like that. And I'm going to end up having to re-glue this down like 3 times because because of the mixed media, you really need to use like a wet glue or a really, really sticky glue. So I did add I added a little bit of that black paper, that darker paper from Paisley Press to the one side, and then I added that gray tag. I think that gray will help the gray that's from the media just kind of stand out a little bit. I just wanted something to kind of close it in a little bit. So it looks like a tree a little bit. It's not perfect, but I'm going to add some more stuff, and I think I really liked how it turned out. It kind of made this like weird shape because having a big photo and then the small photo, it just made it work to my advantage. And I really think that that's kind of what seeing a design in your head and making it work for you, you know? And I really didn't want to cover up a whole lot of the mixed media because it looks really pretty. I mean, it looks Christmassy and stuff, doesn't it? I think it does. So here I found this star. It's like a vellum-y star from Studio Calico. It was from my kit last year, but this is an old it's from it's Studio Calico, but it's from Seven Paper, I believe. So that was like a few years ago that they did that. And then I took some twine that had red in it, so it's Christmassy, and I'm just gonna add that as a layer. And then here's where I'm adding my liquid glue because it really wasn't sticking. If I hadn't broken a needle a while ago, I probably would have sewed the bottom layer on. That would have also helped it look a little bit more like a tree. So now I'm going to add some glue because I am going to add some sequins. These are from SpiegelMom scraps. I have no idea what collection they're from. I think it's the wood, mahogany wood, and then there's another winter pack from like a couple years ago. So I don't think she still has them, but if I can find a link for them or something like it, I will put that in as well, just so you guys can reference the stuff that I used. I mean, if you don't really care, then don't worry about it. But I know sometimes when I see something that I like that someone used, it's kind of nice to be able to click on it so that I can get to it easily. But I just thought sequins would make it. And I have had these laying around in my room. And I haven't used as many sequins now that I'm not on her team anymore. And I don't know why, because I have a bunch. And I love sequins. So it just kind of, they're just scattered throughout. And in a minute, I'm going to add this wood piece from Coloringz. It says trimming the tree. Even though technically we're not trimming the tree, but it has to do with putting up ornaments and stuff. So I'm going to put it up at the top, and that just kind of helped put another little point up there. If I had known I was going to do that, I might have moved that star up a little bit more, but I kind of like it over to the side. And then I'm going to put my title. Now, at first I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it, and then I decided, hey, wouldn't it be kind of fun if the title went around the tree? So I'm starting off with ornaments, but this is only the second half of the title. So the other half, I'm going to look for another alpha, and I end up using a really small alpha, which maybe if I had to go back and redo it, I would pick a bigger one, but I really didn't want to search through all my alphas. And I know I don't have a green one, and I think that's what I would have liked. I mean, I could have used something that I could easily like ink or something, but you know. So these are little alphas. I think they're Studio Calico. They're like a coppery gold color, and they're really pretty. So it's gonna say Christmas family ornaments. So, and I put Christmas on the one photo and then family on the other, so it kind of wraps around. I mean, it's not perfect. But it wouldn't be a layout for me if it was perfect, right? So I like how it turned out. I think it's fun. It's not your traditional design, but you know, I can see. And then I ended up just putting my journaling kind of off there in the middle, and then it goes off to the side. I think if I would have redid that, I would have just did my journaling around the outside of it. I think that would have helped bring your eye in, because I didn't do any of that kind of stuff on this layout. I didn't like mark it up or anything. Like sometimes I'll do doodles around the outside just so it draws your eye in, and I didn't do that, but that's okay, because you don't have to do that every single time, right? Anyway, don't forget to check out the links below and follow the hop and comment so that you guys can be entered in to win the prize for today. I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great holiday season.